How would you feel proving to guys you can play football too by being MVP of Powder Puff 3 years in a row? To jump the high bar as it barely brushes your legs as you clear a new height. Knowing every softball cheer. Doing flips in all different directions on the uneven bars, floors, vault, and beam. How about blocking someone's best efforts of slamming a volleyball over the net? Even winning a race after sprinting over obstacles in your path. Today's guest will tell you about all of these experiences and more. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. Now join our host, Julian Valcinian, to meet the new director.
All the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talents for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give them a chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you a chance to get to know them and watch their progress. Our guest today is an NCC student in the film and TV production course and three-season athlete, having played over 6 sports in her lifetime. Not only has she played these sports and excelled in them as well, we would like you to meet today's guest, Jess T. Hi, Jess.
Hello.
Okay, so we know that you are an experienced athlete in at least 6 sports in high school alone. Can you tell us about some of these sports?
Yes, I played volleyball, which was my favorite sport of all. Track and field, which consisted of a couple things that I did. I did 100-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, long jumping, high jumping, pole vaulting, and sometimes, well, that was it for track and field. Sometimes I did the relay, but that was it. Gymnastics, where I participated in all 4 events, which are the uneven bars, the vault, the floor, and the beam, which I loathe. Lastly was powder puff, which I took pretty seriously, even though it was a one-time-a-year thing. I also played softball, but that wasn't in high school. I put together some pictures to show you. That's the hurdles. The girl in the front there, I could never beat her. She was the most amazing runner I've ever seen. No one could touch me, I swear. Just kidding, but I loved powder puff. It's what I looked forward to every year. It was always rigged for seniors to win, though. This is cross country. This was middle school, but just to show you how long I've been running. It's been a long time. That's gymnastics, the uneven bar, my senior year. I finally got my back tuck off of the uneven bars. That's the vault, which I have actually knocked myself out with before. Yeah, floor was my favorite because I have a really large background in dance. So that was my best event in gymnastics. And the beam, I hated to death. Could not wait to get off of it. Volleyball was my favorite sport ever. I could talk about it for hours. The feeling of blocking someone while they're slamming the volleyball over the net, even slamming the volleyball over the net myself, was an amazing feeling. That was against Greenwich. Ha! They were good. They beat us every time. And that's my club volleyball team, which is in Bethel, Connecticut. And that's how we started every game.
Could you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course class?
It's not exactly for the reason that you would expect. I don't know that I'd like to become a director, but I started off as a business major and quickly realized that how much I hated math and how many numbers were involved. So I switched to communications, and since I don't exactly know what I'd like to do in the communications field, I decided to take a couple different classes or different types of communications classes to see which field I enjoyed most, and this is one of those classes.
What are some of those most useful things you have learned in this course?
Where to begin? I've learned so much coming to this course. I had absolutely no knowledge coming in here. on the subject at all. I've learned that I can manipulate the camera to show you exactly what I'd like you to see in several ways. But I can change the light, the depth of field of the camera, how I frame the shot is very important. I never knew how many ways one person could frame a shot, which is called composition. And I discovered that I've been doing it wrong my whole life. There's the rule of thirds, using vectors, either from nature or purposefully placed, like I can actually point to an object to get you to look there. I can simply move the camera so that the background behind my subject is simpler than it was before, and to be less distracting. So even more fascinating, which is my favorite part, definitely, was learning live television, like this now. I had no idea how many components and how many jobs there were in live TV, and it's been really cool learning how to do each one of those jobs. And you don't realize how stressful it is, and after learning how to do all of these jobs, you learn to be a better director because you've actually experienced all of the jobs and know how to tell them what to do because you know how to do them all. And each week we rotated. Some of the jobs included the director, CG Avid, switching what appears on the TV screen at the time, teleprompting, being the host, being the guest, operating your cameras, controlling the sound, announcing, and some other things that we did. I apologize to my professor in advance, but I absolutely dreaded doing the shot sheets, drawing out camera positions, and writing the script before actually filming, which is actually probably one of the most important things in film, but I hated doing it because I would change my idea when I started filming, and then I'd have to go back and change my shot sheet or whatever. But, and then lastly, we also learned editing skills to edit our films also, which was, which I still have yet to perfect and always ask our assistant Omar for help for all the time. And that's about it.
Please tell us about your Sequence 1, your New England Winter Project, Sequence 2, and your Orange Project.
Well, my first sequence, which we practiced we mainly practiced people coming in and out of a scene, as well as cutting in on action, which you can see here. We mainly did it in the classroom because it was one of the first videos that we did. See, you cut in on the action. Every time you grab something, you cut in. This is my winter project, my New England winter project, where we used a lot of poor man's dissolve, emotional lines like this curve right here in the pathway, continuous zooms like this right here, which makes it look like you're zooming into more than one object at a time, and shapes like this circle, geometric shapes, makes the video more interesting. This is my second sequence, where we had to capture someone traveling a distance and perform simple tasks to practice the flow of cutting in on the action to tell a story. You don't realize how many takes a movie actually goes through. Like, I had my mom pour that glass of water at least like 3 or 4 times to get all of these takes. And then my Orange project, which I'm currently working on and is not yet finished, but I didn't want to give you a sneak peek, even though I do have 30 seconds of footage, because I don't want anyone to see my true idea, which I have changed. So that will be my cumulative project in the end.
Please tell us about your best project.
For starters, my mom is the star actress. We look very much alike. She's kind of like my twin. I get told that a lot. And I say this is my best because I feel I did my best editing job. I feel that the more cutting in on the action that you do in your film, the more professional that it seems. It's a pain in the butt, but I feel it really did pay off, making this video come out really well. The only way it works is if you don't cross the 180-degree line. That's a tip for all film fans, by the way, because if you do, then it makes it look flipped and backwards.
You mentioned the variety of things you have learned in this course. What was the most interesting and important skill you learned, and how will you put it to use?
That's a very difficult question. I feel that if I choose to go into this fields in communications, every aspect of what I learned in this class could definitely come into handy, from editing skills to my actual filming skills, with my tools in my toolbox, with guidelines of good composition, and all this practice with live television. It all goes hand in hand with the other, because we put our films that we edited into our live TV productions. So I've learned everything that has to do with in this field. But if I really had to choose one, I would say the team skills that I've learned, and relying on other people to do more than one job while pulling your own weight in live television, because these skills you can use in everyday life in any field that I decide to go in the future.
Awesome. Today we got to meet someone who shared with us the inside scoop of her after-school high school life. As a new TV director, she hopes to apply what she has learned at NCC to go forth into her communications major, more aware of, well-rounded in her field. We would like to thank Jess for joining us today. Thank you, Jess.
Anytime.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch the progress. Thank you, and good day. That was awesome. It was like hard, like trying to stay like, wow.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Julian Valencia, directed by Miranda Capos-Grosso. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.